Glossophobia, which is, wow, such a monstrous word. It sounds like, right? Like the fear of talking to an audience, like the anxiety, all the sweat. It's totally understandable. And glossophobia, it comes from a Greek word. Glosso is the tongue, and phobia is fear. So fear of the tongue, that's weird. But actually it is related because it's the fear of speaking, as I said before. I've always been a girl, someone at school who never raised her hand. I've always been pretty shy. And I was even shy of eating in front of people. So, you know, when you are at the kindergarten or at school, when you eat with everyone. So I would take the food, I would stick into my apron pocket, and then we would go out and playing, and all my food would come out. That was embarrassing. But that's how shy I was. And anything I'm going to say today, it's based on my own experience. So I want to point that out because it's not, or there's no right or wrong. This is based on what I lived, what I went through, and I'm going to share it with you. So based on that and talking about being shy, it was very hard for me to speak and even to convey my thoughts to people. And by the way, of course, when you are young, you don't have to talk to people. You don't do a public speaking, right? Unless you are engaged in some kind of political field. Then you don't have to do that when you're young. But it's good if we start already when we are young, like engage ourselves in a conversation. And for me, public speaking doesn't have to be necessarily in front of a big crowd, right? It could be just with your friends, with a family member, with your parents. So how can we communicate our thoughts? So I would recommend and suggest to start talking to your friends. And there's no judge. Like I know we are afraid of being judged because that's what public speaking is. Like we think about the audience. The audience might think, how does she look? Even now, maybe you're judging me even now. Oh, the way she speaks. Oh, she has an accent. Oh, the way she looks, the way she's dressed. So we are so focused on what other people think. Why? Why are we so concerned? Because I tell you this, and it might sound negative, but it is not. No matter what you reach in your life, no matter how successful you become, no matter how famous you become, well-off you become, there will always be a bunch of people, a group of people, someone who's going to judge us anyways. So we have nothing to lose. No matter if you're good or bad, they're going to judge us because it's to judge someone is part of the human being. We see the person, and then right away, what our eyes see, the judgment is going to start. So we have nothing to lose. Why not being ourselves? And as I said, there's no right or wrong. Like even for me today, I'm talking to you, and sure, I have my guidelines, my keywords, but if I know exactly my topic, what I'm gonna say from A to Z, what's in the middle, it's all good. You can even improvise, and because I'm not a fan of memorizing. I know maybe a lot of people saying you have to memorize your speech. Yeah. For me, it doesn't work. For sure, you have to be very well prepared. You need to know your topic. You need to know what you're going to talk about. all of the other things like the anxiety, the frustration, using the right word, it's part of it. You have to embrace it, because again, no matter how famous you become and and good you become, once you step on stage, the fear is gonna come back again. Unless you drink a glass of wine. No, don't do that. Don't do that. I don't drink wine, even if I'm Italian. So it's of course like as I was saying, part of your experience as well. The more you experience life, more you talk to people, then more confident you become. And talking to people, it could be even when you are at the restaurant or you are at the bus stop. We can start talking to a stranger, and with this, be careful. I'm not saying to talk to everyone. Of course, follow your instinct. But let's take the restaurant environment. Maybe you can start sharing a phrase or like a thought with the waiter. Maybe you can start saying, "Hey, is your shift over? When did you start? Oh my God, the restaurant is full." I know it sounds like a basic conversation, but that's how it starts. And more you do it, and more you hear your voice speaking, and more confident you become. I can reassure you. Based on my experience, what helped me a lot, it was teaching. And I don't know how many of you are teaching or are teachers. That helped me a lot. And of course, when you speak and you teach privately, as I'm doing, there's an action and reaction, because you speak to the other person and the other person reacts to you. So you have to really listen. You have to listen very well. And then you respond upon what the other person says. So for sure, it's a little bit easier. It's so much easier. You are in a good environment. It could be your home when you teach, or in a school. So it's totally different than speaking on stage. But that's where it starts. Every big achievement starts with a small achievement. So for me, was speaking every day, teaching to different people. And I surprised myself, because I thought, look what I'm doing. I was so shy at school. I wouldn't raise my hand. I was so shy of speaking. And now I'm talking to strangers, because that's my job, my business, and I want to do it. I like it. I'm enjoying it. And once I kept doing it, because it's not about teaching, it's about engaging. You have to engage your audience. It could be one person, two people, three people, or 1,000. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You have to engage them. And when I talk about engagement, for me, it's like, it could be also be funny. If that's part of your personality while you're giving your speech and you want to make a joke, why not? People appreciate your truth. You have to be truthful to yourself. You have to speak your truth, not anyone else's truth. Because very often, especially with Instagram right now, Facebook, we see celebrities, like people that are very successful, and we would like to emulate them. There's nothing wrong with that. We can check them online, who inspire us, and we can take the good things that they have, and we can adapt them to ourselves. So we can definitely do that. but not copying, not being exactly like they are, because we are all unique. So each one of you who are listening to me right now is unique, has their own potential, their own uniqueness. And you have to figure out and find out what that uniqueness is and use it at your advantage. I don't know what it is. For me, it was being silly, sometimes like funny, not being serious. Even if I talk to a doctor, as I did when I do my interviews on Instagram, I do a lot of lives, I interview a lot of people, no matter who's in front of me, I can be totally serious. That's part of my personality. That's what I found out. And that's what other people see. Oh, sorry, you should be a stand-up comedian. Like, okay, I don't know about that. I like to talk to people and not necessarily make them laugh. But I'm talking about you to make you understand what I find out about myself. It could be making a joke. It could be when you give your speech and you forget or you don't remember that word that you rehearsed a lot. It doesn't matter. Find a synonym. You can find another way of expressing yourself. You don't have to stick on your paper. You need to know what you are talking about. You need to know your topic. But you can use synonyms. You can change the phrase as long as you know your field, your topic. To me, there's freedom of communication. That's the beauty of that, and it's beautiful. And also remember that when you step on stage, regardless of the fear and anxiety that is going to part of it, no matter how great and good you become as a public speaker, you are already in a position of power. And I know power, it sounds like a very, how can I say, a very big word. And it could sound a negative word, like the power. Like sometimes the connotation, it might be like not so positive, but the audience is there to listen to you. If the audience is there, it is because they like you. You already won. By the moment you step on stage for your speech, you think about that, you already won. They're there for you. They're cheering for you. They want you to succeed. They're not there to put you down. Why would they come to a public speaking knowing and reading your name and then be like this? Let's see what he's gonna say, what she's gonna say, what they're gonna say. Like to put you down. I don't think so. That's not part of it. So when you are on stage, you are already half winner, let's say. And the audience doesn't know what you are gonna say. They know the topic, but they don't know your words. Do you know my words right now? What I was gonna say exactly? No. You know what I was gonna talk about today? Yes, glossophobia, the fear of public speaking, but you didn't know what I was gonna say to you. So what if I say, well, I'm improvising all the way through? You're still listening. You still get the point, because what I'm talking about, it's the topic I had to talk to you. So all the words that I'm using, you don't know previously the words I'm using. So it's the same for your speech. The audience doesn't know all the words you're using. What they're interested is to get important information about the field, about what you are going to talk about. So let me Now, let me get my notes. And I'd like to share something very important. So as I said, start talking more and engaging more your friends. Before the big crowd, start from a small crowd. If you have a chance to teach, this is good. It's good. It really helped me teaching something, maybe not just in a school environment. It could be if you know something, if you read an article, you can talk to your friend. Hey, I read about this. Like, engage your friend and say, what do you think? What do you think about this? And that's how the conversation starts. And once you start, it's gonna flow. It's gonna flow because one word catch the other word. I don't know, maybe there's a specific English expression. We say, in Italian, we say, una cosa tira l'altra, una parola tira l'altra. A word pulls the other word. I don't know in English, maybe there's a specific English expression. But at the moment, I don't know. So even to your pet, right? When we talk, I don't have any pets. But it sounds silly, but it's true. Even when you give a command to your pet, it might listen to you, it might not listen to you. It depends how you engage your pet, how you engage people, even pets. So you can start from that. So what to do to overcome anxiety? And again, this is an anxiety that is manageable, okay? That you can manage with some methods, with some way of relieve your anxiety. Always focus on the positive thinking. Every time you say, don't, I'm not good enough, I'm not beautiful enough, I'm not well dressed, I didn't do this, your brain is gonna memorize and get the negative words of the don't. So instead of thinking, I can't make mistakes, well, accept that we all make mistakes. You can say, I do my best today. I'm gonna talk about so-and-so and this and that, and I'm gonna do my best. Always focus on the positive thinking. Again, the audience is there for you, to listen to you, and they want you to succeed. Always keep that in mind. And they don't know what you're gonna say exactly, as long as you know your topic. So know your material. Of course, you have to rehearse at home, in front of a computer, in front of the wall, maybe with your friend. You can ask your friend, do you mind listening? I know it's just one person, but it's okay. One person, 2 people, 1,000 people, it doesn't matter. So rehearse, you can rehearse a lot, but give yourself the freedom to be able to change maybe what you want to say. Like as I said, I don't like to stick exactly on every word. But you need to know what you're saying so you can rehearse. You have to practice that for sure. Practice your topic until you feel it in your body and in your heart. So practice with your friend or practice alone in your room. I do that when I do my interviews. I have a guideline of questions, or even for doing this today, and I practiced, but not over practice, but do anything that makes you feel comfortable until you're familiar with what you're saying. You can script your presentation. If it's good to memorize it, like you can do it. I'm not here to say, don't do it. I don't want to impose you to do anything. Again, what I'm saying is based on my experience, and every one of us is different. If it's good for you to memorize it, and for you it flows and it's easy, why not? For me, it doesn't work. But you can script your presentation. You can have all the keywords, your key points that you can use, because when you do a public speaking, you have your sheets and you can have it in front of you, and you can even pause, and you can even say, I lost the track of my thoughts. I'm sorry. Let me get back to that. You can. People appreciate your honesty. I'm totally like, I really, really believe, I'm a believer that people appreciate who you are, how you are, and how truthful you are, and your honesty. If you forget, and you need to get back to that, I say that, I say, what was I saying? Oh my God, I lost my thoughts. And maybe, you know, people might smile and might laugh, and then you get back to your material. So practice. You can even record your session or videotape your session. And then you can look at it. Just be careful, because sometimes when we look at ourselves, we notice all the flaws. Oh my God, look the way I look. Oh no, my eye is lower. My right eye is lower than the left eye. Right? That's what I do. But you can videotape to listen to yourself and to make it better. Oh, maybe, oh, no, maybe I shouldn't say that. It doesn't sound right. And maybe have your friend, like your trustworthy friend or a relative, who can give you a good advice. If you know they're good at listening, they can help you out. If you feel totally isolated and alone, you can ask some help, maybe of your teacher. And I'm sure you are already doing it. What else you can do to relax yourself, even before, after the preparation, before 30 minutes before your speech, you can listen to a relaxing music. It might work for you. You have to test it out. Again, it might not work. Maybe listening to a music before your speech for some people might not work. Maybe some people needs to do some exercise, aerobic, like maybe a run. Maybe you need to run. I don't know what it could work for you, but you have to test it out. You can try and try and try what makes you feel better. For me, like going to the gym before and do some exercises, it works. It works because it lifts my mood up. My brain is well regenerated, and I feel more confident when I sweat, when I work out. For me, it works. But again, you have to try and see what happened to your body. So there isn't a final destination when you give a speech and how you overcome your fear. You have to try different things. So it could be a meditation. You can even meditate, not just the music, listening to music, but you can also meditate. Go into your zone and relax and listen to your breath. The breathing, it's very, very important. Like, start to calm yourself down, start to listen to your breathing. While you're doing your presentation in front of the crowd, yes, but even before, you have to start before. It's like a training. It's like a scuba diver before jumping into the water. They train with the breathing, inhale and exhale. So for anything that involves breathing, like I thought about scuba diving, but even dancing, I'm a dancer. So when I used to dance, I had to focus on my breathing. Otherwise, I'm like, in apnea, like no breath. So we need, even when we talk, start focusing on your breathing, even when you talk to your friends. Like, take your time. You don't have to rush. Or if your personality is in that way, yes, you can. You don't have to change yourself, but you can breathe more, and really practicing the breathing part. It relaxes you a lot. You can pause, connect with your audience and feel your audience. I think I said that before. So let's move on. What time is it right now? Oh, maybe I'm done. I want to say a few more things. So you can even practice your visualization. So you can even, when you are at home, just visualize the audience. The visualization, it's a very important part for public speaking. I do that. I always done that. And so you can start feeling your body grounded and start speaking. Even if you speak to the wall, I just imagine that wall as your audience. So the what if right now I'm in front of 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people. Your attitude shouldn't change when you are in front of one person or 2,000. Always try to engage them and visualize that they are in front of you. Even if you are in front of your stuffed animal, as I do sometimes, I practice in front of my stuffed animal. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you're visualizing that wall, your stuffed animal, your pet, or whoever is in front of you is your big audience. And you can change your focus. So instead of focusing your attention on you, I don't, you remember what I said before, push away the negative words, don't, but focus on the positive and focus on the audience, on the information they want to hear from you. And of course, the confidence comes with time and with practice. So don't beat yourself down that you have to be so good. If you're starting out, you will get better. So keep that in mind, that you will get better for sure. More you do it, like anything in life, more you do it and more you get better at it. For every single job, for anything, it's just a matter of practice and practice and practice. And I like to finish and say, another thing, if you can do it, or in your country, in your city, if there are any acting classes and improv classes, take it. I did here in Los Angeles. I know LA, it's an entertainment capital, but I'm sure there are some acting classes where you live. Take it because are very, very helpful. Are frightened at the beginning, yes, but if you stick with that, you keep going, they're very helpful once you have to speak in front of strangers. So you can start in an acting class with your classmates, your teacher, and everyone in an acting class, improv class, they are at the same page like you. So again, nothing to lose. They're not going to judge you. And even if they do, they're going to be judged by other people. We're always judged. So there's no escape by that. We're always judged for everything. Even if we say ciao or one word, some people might judge, oh, the way she said ciao. So acting classes, improv classes, to get out of your comfort zone. And know who you are, what you like, what you dislike, your point of view. Read a lot and engage your friends about articles you read. Start with your family members, your parents, your friends. And I'm laughing because there was another thing I wanted to say. I was in doubt of saying or not, but I'm going to say it because a teacher of mine, my acting teacher, said that to me. Was my acting teacher or my... Yeah, she was my acting teacher. Anyway, it doesn't matter who told me that. Imagine your audience sitting on a toilet. Imagine that. And it's going to relieve all your anxiety. That was a joke. It was a silly thing to say. But ultimately, love yourself, hug yourself, support yourself with uplifting words and thoughts. Your topic, your brain and heart will follow you. Grazie. Thank you very much. Hello. Is anyone there? Hello?
Hello, Sara. Thank you very much. It was great. So, delegates, have you a question?
If you have some questions, you can ask.
If there is any question, you can type it in the chat. Just an open space.
Thank you for everyone. Thank you everyone for listening, and apologize again if the session started a little bit late. Thank you.
Hello, hello again, Sarah. So we have a question for you. I saw it in the chat box. If you want to answer it. Okay, so she said, "What if we can't focus on the positive thinking even if we try?"
Excuse me. Say again. What?
What if we can't focus on the positive thinking even if we try?
What can be helpful on the positive thinking?
What if we can't focus?
Oh, what if we can't focus? I'm sorry. Apologize. I think it was the connection, the audio. What if we cannot focus on the positive thinking even if we try? You have to try. The positive thinking, again, if you are at home and you practice your speech and you keep practicing your positive thinking, there's no way the negative comes back, because your brain is going to memorize your positive thinking, all the good thoughts and positive seeds that you rehearsed. Well, it starts when you are alone, when you are in your room. That's when the positive thinking and the positive thoughts are starting. It has to be on a daily basis. You cannot accept that the positive thinking comes during your speech, while you're doing your public speaking. You have to start from now, from today. Even though you're public speaking, your speech, you're going to give your speech in 2 months, 3 months, you have to start on a daily basis in everything you do in your life to be positive. That's how you build it. It cannot just be in that moment. Yeah, if you do it in that moment, for sure, it's gonna, maybe the negative thoughts are coming back and you are not able to overcome it, to overcome your fear. So everything has to be linked and connected. Every day you need to start thinking of yourself in a positive way. And I'm not a psychologist, but I know there might be people who wants to put us now, some friends, well, that could be another topic. I'm not getting into that. But well, if that's the case, that you have people putting you down, you have to kind of not being with them. If they are deteriorating your life with their thoughts, those are not good people for you. But beside that, you yourself, you have to start think good, in a good way about you, about life. And I can reassure you for sure, once you do your public speaking, your brain is trained. Your brain is trained. I don't know if I answered your question. Because you have to start, you have to take little step. It's one step at a time. It's not, you cannot think about the ending result. You have to start small. Because positive thinking, I've used such a big phrase, but it isn't as easy as it sounds. And as I said again, I know I'm repeating myself, but it starts on a daily basis. Okay, did I answer your question?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, you did. So we have a second question for you. It says, what if we noticed a negative feedback from the audience during the speech? How can we deal with it?
Oh, if about a feedback from the audience, but during the public speaking, you mean? Or like later on?
During the public speaking.
So if someone gave you a positive feedback or negative, is that your question? How would you react?
Yes.
Okay. Well, if the positive response, the positive feedback is good, just jump. Jump of happiness. No, you listen what the audience is gonna say. If it's a positive feedback, you can thank them. If it's a negative feedback, you can ask, what can I do maybe to next time to change what I said that wasn't maybe good for you. But again, the negative feedback, it could be negative for one person. You don't have to change yourself if only one person gives a negative feedback, because that could happen for sure. As I said, not everyone has to like us. It won't happen. I love Lady Gaga. Listen, I love Lady Gaga. I'm a fan of Lady Gaga. Not in an obsessive way, but I love her. I think she's very talented, smart. But a lot of people don't like her. So no matter what you do, like there might be people who won't like us. And now I just brought like a celebrity, but it could be even with our friends. If we have 10 friends, maybe 3 people are not gonna like us. That's a little bit very kind of a mission, if I can say mission impossible, that everyone is gonna like us. So the negative feedback during the public speaking, you take it, you can thank them because there's always a feedback, and then listen what they are saying, and then you are gonna respond based on your speech, because what you're speaking is your own truth. Is what I said, right? Even today, is based on my own experience. There's no right or wrong. I'm not saying what I'm saying is totally correct. It worked for me, and I hope I share something that you can use. Maybe other people might give you a different point of view. There might be a different point of view. So you can even say to them, thank you, sir. This is my point of view. This is my truth that works for me. But thank you for your comment. And then I might ask you, what didn't you like? You ask precisely, what was the thing that maybe you were not agree with me? You can ask and see what they say. And then you can argue and say, well, This is my thoughts. Argue, not argue. Sorry, maybe I used the wrong word. You don't have to discuss with the audience. I would just say thank you. Argue what I meant, not argue discussing. Sorry, I used probably the wrong word, but maybe saying, this is my truth, this is based on my experience, but thank you for your comment. No.
Okay. I loved something you say that we don't have to be loved by everyone, and it's totally true. So we have another question for you. There's a person who says, sometimes when I'm too anxious, I forgot my tooth. What should I do?
Sorry, I forgot my
tooth, my ideas when she speaks. What should I do?
Oh my God, the idea. So this person is saying that while you are speaking, they forgot the idea, what they should do about that, right? Correct?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So you have your sheets. Like, it's very important that you have all your key points, your keywords on a paper, on a sheet of paper. And you can get back to that. You can pause and say, one moment, or you don't have to say anything. You just pause. Actually, in the silence is gonna fill that space, because the audience is even more maybe attracted to you and saying fascinated, because she's not speaking. And you maybe can delicately move your sheets before you can find your idea. You start from, if you have 5 sheets, you start from your first sheet. You have everything lined up. This is important because it could happen for sure. The anxiety does that. Of course, the anxiety and fear does that. But if you have everything lined up with your keywords, you follow them. And if you forgot, like, you go back, you flip your pages until, excuse me, until you find it back. And even if you say something that was supposed to be said at the beginning, you say it at the end, it's okay. As long as you stick with your topic, as long as you know your topic, what you're going to talk about, there's no A, B, C, D, E. You can say something at the end, even if you put it in your keywords at the beginning. If you say it at the end, it's still part of the same subject. So take your time. You don't have to rush. The audience is there for you. They're gonna wait. Ooh, she paused. What is she gonna say? What is he gonna say? And you take your time. And you can even maybe, as I said before, be seen and say, well, I'm gonna flip here I have a big book and I lost everything. Like, you can make a little joke and people are gonna laugh and they're like, oh, okay, she's getting back to us. Why not? They're not there like, I know that you see those eyes, like owl eyes, like staring at you, but you are in your world, right? You're here in your topic and they're there for you.
Okay, thank you. So we have 2 other questions, but which are very similar. So the main question is, what we should do when we forget an information or something important during the speech without letting others notice?
Without, excuse me?
Without letting others notice. So.
But well, it's kind of what I answered before. Like, if you have everything lined up, well, first of all, if it's a very important information, I would recommend and suggest put it at the beginning of your topic or at the beginning of your speech, because usually when you lined up your speech, you write down the most important information that you want to deliver, you want to convey, and then maybe towards the end, not that towards the end are not important, but at the beginning of your speech, that's when the audience is warm, and you have them because you're starting your speech, you're starting to speak and talk, so they are there. Why you keep talking, especially if it's an hour length conversation, maybe the audience might turn off a little bit, but this is normal, not because of you. It's of the nature of the conversation, because an hour it's such a long time. So I would suggest all the important information, put it at the beginning when your audience is warm and they're happy to see you, you're starting out. That's when you deliver those important and pivotal info. Then you talk, and then you have a punchline at the end, like something they can remember towards the end, which is your last phrase. But yeah, if it's something important, it has to be at the beginning. So there's no way you forget. There's no way, because you have it on your first sheet of paper.
Okay, so we have another question. If you have answered for it before, you can just waive it. So the question is, what if one of the audience is not given an objective, constructive criticism? How do we deal with it? How should we react?
But you're still talking about a feedback, right? No, well, like if the audience says something to you, like it's not a feedback, just their point of view, right? You're saying?
Yeah.
I'd like to see the question. I don't know why I cannot see it. I can.
Okay, I will take it to you. So she said, what if one of the audience is not given an objective, constructive criticism? So we can.
Well,
yeah.
Okay, I understand. Well, maybe you can say, sir, I'm gonna get back to you at the end of the conversation. Maybe let me talk to you. If it's something that you don't think is good, or maybe it's too long, it is too long to explain in front of everyone else, and it might take some time, just talk to them at the end of your speech. And you can say, sir, let's talk privately about this topic, because it's not the real matter at this moment, but let me get back to you. You can say that. And then when your speech is over, then you can talk to the person. If you see everyone else say, no, we want to know, actually, it's such a great comment, you can take your time and talk to them. But at the end, you have to stick with your topic. You have to convey your thoughts, what you're supposed to say. So don't get too distracted with the audience, what they're going to say, because the audience can have so many questions that are not even related sometimes to your main subject. Sometimes they are not. They might ask questions that you're like, oh, that maybe has nothing to do, or it takes so long to explain. So you can talk to them privately. You can give them 10 minutes of your time, 15 minutes, and talk to them. Or you can even say this: for any questions, maybe not necessarily related to this, I'm going to be outside after the speech, and you can talk to me, and I'm going to take 20 more minutes. You decide. This is your decision if you want to do it. You can say, I'm going to take 20 more minutes or 30 more minutes for all the extra questions you might have. But right now, let's keep going. And that you keep going with your speech. Otherwise, they're going to slow down what you are talking about.
Okay. Another question, please.
I think I can take one more. I can only take one more because then I have to keep working.
Okay. So she said, what should us do to avoid panic when we receive a question that we don't know its answer?
Well, that's a good question. If you panic, I'm sure that if the question, like the question you're having for me right now, right? If the question is related to your subject, what you are really talking about, you know what to say. You know in that moment. The panic is if your mind is closed in only you memorize something so well and you don't have the freedom to step out of the memorization. That's when the panic starts. It's like learning a movement, right? You learn a movement, and yes, you can panic because that's a movement you learned, like as a dancer or your line as an actor. No. You could panic because that's a memorization. But if you give yourself some freedom of speech while you're doing your public speaking, and the question is related to your subject, you know what you're gonna say. You know the answer. You know. I can reassure. There's no way you can panic. And if you don't know, you can say you don't know. One time I had it was actually recently, 2 weeks ago, I had an interview with a doctor, an Italian doctor who's fighting for COVID in Italy. And actually he was on the Time cover because he heals and he cures his patients at their home. So his name became pretty famous. And I talked to him and I said, Doctor, I'm gonna have questions for you. And he stopped me and he said, yes, sure. If I know the answer, I tell you. If I don't know the answer, I say, I don't know, I can't answer. So if you really, really don't know that it's something that it takes some extra knowledge from you, you can say, my apologies, at the moment, I cannot answer to that question, but let me get back to you. Send me an email. Send me an email, and that because I want to give you the exact answer. And right now, it's better if we keep going, but send me an email and you can share your email address and that person is going to send you an email. So you have some time to doing some research. It can happen. We are all human beings. We don't know everything. We don't know everything. Not even a super doctor might know everything, as this doctor said to me, right, during the interview. If I know, I answer. If I don't know, I say I don't know. And he's a good doctor, but it's part of the human nature and us as human being. Share your email address, and you can say, I'm going to do some research about it because this is a good question and it takes extra time before I can answer you. But shoot me an email, send me an email, and I get back to you. So the person's going to be happy because you're going to answer. Not in that moment, but the day after, maybe. So, yeah.
Okay. So it was the last one, Sarah.
Well, yeah, I think. Oh, last one. Maybe I can take one more.
Okay. You want to take one more?
I can take one more.
Okay.
Or if it's a short answer.
Yeah. So it's a very interesting question. She said, "What should we do to decrease stressfulness in front of the audience?"
Well, you cannot work out. You cannot do. You cannot dance. I I would dance in front of the audience I'm a dancer, but I don't know you. Well, the breathing. I spent some time talking about breathing. Try always pause for a moment. If you're really, really, really stressful, you can drink some water. You can have the water with me. One moment, sorry, today I spoke a lot. Also, you can take a sip of your water, connect to yourself, connect to your sheet. And while you're doing that, while you're drinking, after you finish drinking, connect to your breath, to your breathing pattern. But again, this is something you have to start from today, like every day on a daily basis, right? What I said before about exercising yourself to relieve your fear, the breathing, it's another step you have to take and you have to do on a daily basis. Like the meditation is very good. It's good because you can focus on your breathing. And if you do even 10 minutes, 15 minutes a day, once you do your public speaking, you are prepared on your breathing as well, on top of your speech. So if you're really panicking, again, drink some water, take a good breath, like, what a nice day today. Maybe you can break it with a different comment, say, nice day today, huh? But let's get back to what I was saying. You can say something like to relieve the nerves. You can make a silly joke. You can say, wow, so many people today. I thought only maybe 2 people. Wow, am I that popular? Like, I don't know. You can, if you feel nervous, for me, it works to maybe make a joke. So you can make a joke, but again, get back to your breathing pattern. It's so good to breathe and take a good breath. You can even say it. You can even express yourself. I would say, it's so good to take a good breath because I'm so nervous. I don't know. Maybe I'm nervous today. I'm nervous because it's such a big crowd. I'm so happy that you're all here for me. Thank you very much. I'm a bit nervous because you can say your truth. Why not? People are gonna smile. They're gonna smile. They're not gonna say, "Oh, what is she saying? What is he saying?" No, because you have to connect with them with something you can relate to your audience. Remember that they're going through what you are going. Maybe not through a speech, but all of us, the society we are living to, all of us are anxious. It's life. Some people are anxious for public speaking. Other people are anxious to go to the supermarkets. Other people are anxious to talk on the phone, to pick up the phone. We are all anxious. All of us have some sort of anxiety matter and problem. So just connect with your breath and take meditation classes, acting classes. Like you have to take some classes too in order to relieve yourself from the fear. Like if you cannot do it alone on your own.
Okay, so it was the last one for today. Thank you so much, Sara. You were amazing, and your session was really remarkable. From the comments, I know that you have changed vision for many of us. So thank you so much. I hope that we will see you in other sessions with us, and thank you for collaborating with us.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you to everyone for your questions and be with me. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Ciao.
Okay, you're welcome.
Ciao.
Goodbye. Take care. Concerning the delegates, please, you have a feedback form. You know that your opinion is very important for us. So we will send it to the WhatsApp group. Please fill it, and you will receive an email concerning the tomorrow session. I hope to see you tomorrow too. So goodbye, everyone.
Ciao, bye bye, thank you. Bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.